you're meeting us when you're almost done with the leadership program, which we started in October of last year. So it has taken quite a long while. We took a short break, but now we are determined to finish tomorrow. Is it right, Lydia?
It's all right. I'll just catch up.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
However, we have all the materials uploaded online. So definitely, once you compile the final report, you'll have all the links, the videos, the materials, so you can easily catch on. Yeah.
Definitely. Thank you very much.
Awesome. For my name is Purity Wanjiro. I'm the director for Accurex, Leadership and Management Consultants Limited. We are a HR consulting firm with a huge leaning on training. So we do different programs, like the leadership program we are doing for you. Currently, we are doing another program for supervisors and middle-level managers. We also for another company, we're doing like a customer service program. And in another company, currently we are doing like a sales and marketing program. So that is what we do by far and large. Other than that, we do team building, coaching, mentorship, and all that. So it is such a wonderful experience to have interacted with your team. For almost now, the original program was coming to, I think, 14 weeks or thereabout. So it was such a pleasure. So welcome, and all of us, Axel, Queen Elodie, Peace, and Lydia. Where is Axel? No, John, sorry.
Same with Peace.
You join using the same
they're sharing the same device. Yes. All right.
Yes.
Awesome. So for today, I'll be taking you through what we have planned for today, and which is knowing your customer, something to do with understanding your customer needs, and as well as, let me see, product knowledge and dealing with difficult customers and handling complaints. It should be very interesting. So I don't know, what are your thoughts just before I start my own presentation? What are you thinking coming into this session, especially after such a long break? Axel. Okay, John or Peace? Hello, are you able to hear me really?
Yes,
I can hear you myself.
Yes, so I've asked a question. What are your thoughts when you think about these topics? The three of them are quite interrelated. So we thought just to match them up to be able to cover them in under one session. So what are your thoughts, Queen?
Well, my thoughts on this session, it's I think it's a good thing. It all looks, it's important to all of us. It involves knowing our customers and how we handle them, how to properly basically handle them, and most importantly, when we are pitching or when we are discussing about our business, because we are brand ambassadors outside, we must have that product knowledge of what we are selling. Yes.
Awesome. So I totally agree with you, and I'll just now start showing my screen. Okay, just give me a second. Yes. I hope all of us we are able to see it, right?
Yes, we are.
Awesome. So I've divided today's topic into 3 segments. So we'll start with the very first one, knowing your customer. And knowing your customer is, I feel like it's a very critical question that we need to always be asking ourselves. Like, do we know the customers that you are serving? Sonia says she's in business development. Does she know which customers she should be targeting in terms of business development and such things? So the very first part is defining what is knowing your customer. So what we normally very popularly known as KYC. KYC enables organizations to know or understand their customers. The organization makes an effort to verify their identity, suitability, and risk involved with maintaining a business relationship. Can someone give me an example of one customer? Then you define them based on who they are, their identity, their suitability, and their risk involved by dealing with that customer.
One side.
Yes, John. Yes, Axel.
No, it's yeah, I was saying one side.
On-site. On-site is a customer?
One side.
One site.
Yes.
They're a customer?
Yes, yeah, customer.
All right. How do you know that they are the best customer for you? Or how do you, when you went to get that business, what made you want to target them to be your customer?
I hope that question is not addressed to me. Are you
No.
addressing it to me?
Yes, it's addressed to you.
No, I was not here when they went to.
But what does one site do, for example? Anyone else can assist Axel?
If I'm to assist him, I would mention a different
Customer
or client.
Okay, please.
Yeah, I would mention EABL.
EABL. You have EABL in Rwanda?
Yes.
Awesome. So what do they do? I know what they do, but you can tell us what you understand they do.
They are distributors and marketing agents of East African breweries products.
Yes. So, and where does Q sourcing and EABL meet?
Okay, we do their manpower management and payroll.
Awesome. So you
and
see,
their taxes declarations, yes.
Oh, really? Even accounting bit?
Yes.
Okay, I think that's a perfect example.
Even staff welfare and all that, yeah.
Okay, so for me, I think EABL is a perfect example when we talk about knowing your customer. The fact that EABL employs a lot of people, some of these people have to be outsourced, right?
Yes.
So you see, like, if, for example, if I was working for Q Sourcing Rwanda, I'll be targeting companies that have more than, for example, 100 employees, because the probability of them outsourcing employees is also high. Unlike targeting a client that has five employees, the probability of outsourcing these employees is also very, very low. Do you agree?
True.
Yes, we do.
Yes.
Okay, so that is part of knowing your customer. Like, you'll know which. Also, like, let me ask, for Q sourcing, do you specialize on a certain industry or a certain level of manpower?
No.
Or you can outsource any type of employee?
Yes, yes.
Okay, then that
from
one,
any industry.
or from any industry. That one is
Yes.
I think that one gives you a much easier time than for outsourcing companies that I know they only maybe outsource tech, or they outsource engineers only, you know. But for you, if you can outsource anyone, then that gives you a better point when it comes to knowing your customer. So these are some of the things that you need to look out for, especially if when you want to enhance or enforce the concept of knowing your customer. Number one is set up a compliance department. Do you currently have any compliance department or someone who is in charge of compliance?
Yes.
Who is it?
It's a group legal person.
Or they're in charge of compliance?
Supported by the HR team, yes.
Okay, so you see, whenever you have a compliance team, is to make sure the clients that you're bringing on board, they meet the bare minimum that you need in terms of customers or clients that you service. Then the next one is put in place a system to monitor the accounts and transactions on a regular basis. Who is your finance person again? Is it Patrick or Axel?
It's Patrick and Peace.
Oh, it's Patrick and Peace.
Yes.
So these are the people to check which invoices have been paid, which invoices have not been paid, who has raised an invoice, who has not yet raised an invoice. So that is the part of monitoring.
Yes.
Peace, is that your job?
Yes.
And I know you'll be very curious if you hear one of your clients has gone bankrupt. True?
Oh.
Because it will mean they are not able to pay you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the next part in KYC is update customer information and records at reasonable intervals. Who is in charge of maintaining client records?
Lydia.
Lydia.
Lydia, but Lydia's in HR.
No, but it depends. It depends because
Part
we
of the
have
JD.
one-off services and the retainers.
Oh,
So for the retainers, Lydia does because
okay.
it's part of HR. But
Okay.
like one-off services, I do.
Oh, you do. So that role is split between Lydia and Queen,
Yes.
right? Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
The next bit is chalk out plans for impartial, suitable training to the staff periodically. Like the one that you're doing, I think it's a suitable training just to make sure employees or the staff exactly know what is expected of them from their roles, right? Okay, moving on. The last bit is maintain proper records for customer identification and indicate in writing. That point is very similar to point number 3, because you'll notice a lot of us, many of us don't stay in organizations forever. So you'll want, when you leave or when someone else comes, when someone new comes, they find a track record that they can know this customer was onboarded in 2016. This is the services they've been getting. This is how much they've been paying. And you can see all that. You're able to find it in the customer records. So you'll find, as much as this topic, I've made it very brief, that knowing your customer has a lot to do with the records that you keep, or even the records that you ask the client to provide to you so that you're able to maintain like a file for them. Any questions so far? And I know your customer. Peace, you have any question?
Yes, I have a question on chalk out plan of imparting suitable training to the staff periodically. What does that mean?
What it means, and Lydia, I know this one we have discussed with you maybe several times, is every year we almost come up with a training calendar. And it says in January, this is what we should be doing. In February, this is what we should be doing. And by the time we do a training calendar, it means we might have done a training needs assessment before, you know, or at the time when you are doing the appraisals, you ask the employees, what training do you want for us to consider in the coming year or in the coming review period? Then they tell you, I want communication. So you see, this one is keeping you updated. As much as most of our trainings that we do, you'll notice they're not necessarily focused on us as the organization. They are more focused on how we can serve our clients better. Lydia, is that clear to you?
Yeah, I actually wanted my colleagues to understand.
Oh, okay. Then how I have explained it, is that clear to everyone?
To me, yes.
Awesome.
And to me, it's clear.
Awesome. Because you see, and a training calendar really doesn't necessarily need to be year long. You know, it can be for 3 months, 6 months, even for a month. Because if you notice your employees are struggling with a concept or a certain aspect of their job today, and you've already drawn out a training calendar for the year, I don't think it will be wise for you to wait until next year to consider that as a training need. You might want to maybe even consider it there and then, maybe within the week or within the month, and say, let us do the training at this point so that we can empower our employees to do their job better. All right. I want to send you into groups. How many are we? Let me see. We are 5, but 2 people are sharing a device. Peace and John are sharing a device, right?
Yes.
So those are 6. So I'll give you into 2 groups. I want you to give you an assignment. Identify one product that Q-sourcing offers. But I want group 1 to have their own product, group 2 to have their own product. So I assume you will consult each other to find out which products group 1 is doing and which products group 2 is doing. And I want you to answer these questions. Just hold on. No, that one is going to give you answers. I want you to identify 2 products that Q-sourcing offers. Make sure group 1 and group 2 are not having the same product. Then list down as much detail about that product as possible. Is that clear up to there?
Sorry, we list out as much
detail about that product as possible. As much detail about that product as possible. It could be, why do you sell it? Who do you sell it to? Maybe how much revenue you get from it, or how much you charge for that service or product, how long it takes for you to deliver, all those questions. As much detail as you can about that product. Is that clear up to there?
Yes.
Okay, so Lydia, Axel, Queen, you're one group. Peace, John, and Sonia, another group. I give you how many minutes?
Just listing out and then giving details.
Yes, just one product and as much detail as possible.
5.
5 minutes.
Or 10.
No, 5 minutes, Lydia.
Okay.
Okay, talk to each other. Give me as much detail about one product that you offer at Q-sourcing. Then we meet at 31 minutes past 3 p.m. Rwanda time.
Okay.
If you have any questions, I'm still here to answer them.
You mean 5 minutes?
Yes, 5 minutes. Is that too long?
It's too short.
No, it's too long, John.
For the details, unless if there's no details required.
No, a lot of detail.
Then that's my life.
All right, let's talk after 5 minutes. We see how far you'll have gone. We are done. John, are we done? Are we done? Or you are winding up?
In 30 seconds.
In 30 seconds, okay.
Fixed. It depends on how we agree to it. The agreement. Fixed percentage number per head. Per head. Per head. Per head. What is the meaning of per head? Per person. Per person.
Purity, we are done.
Awesome, awesome. Your group is Lydia, Axel, and Queen, right?
Queen. Yes.
All right. What about Sonia, Peace, and John? Are you done?
I wanted to copy our information, but you refused. So
Okay. All right. Are you done, Sonia? John and Peace, are you done?
Yes, Purity, we are done. Yes.
Okay. Just
Yes, we are here.
Awesome. Just hold on to that assignment as I define what is product knowledge. I'm saying just keep your answers as I discuss what is product knowledge, then we can get to your answers. So product knowledge is the ability to communicate information and answer questions about your product and services. You see, for me, I also do business development. The fact that I'm the director, 90% of the time I find myself interacting with customers. And you see, in that scenario, I have to really understand all our products and the services that we offer with the whole sum of it, you know, because whenever you go to meet a client, you'll not say, let me call Patrick and find out how much we charge. That is information that you need when you're going to the client, you already have in hand. So we'll get the first answer from which group? John's group. They were complaining about the time. Let's see what they have done. John? Or
This
Peace?
is our representative.
Who is your representative?
Peace.
Peace, awesome. Peace, what was the product or service that you picked?
We picked Manpower Solutions.
Manpower Solutions,
Yes. So what we find in there,
Mhm.
we do staff management.
Mhm.
That consists of staff contracts
Mhm.
and staff welfare, like benefit administration allowances
Mhm.
and staff payrolls.
Mhm.
And also we have staff statutories.
That's declarations and the and tax payments for the staff.
Yes.
And we do that monthly.
Mm-hmm.
So, and another one is management fees.
Mm-hmm.
So this
Is
we
that the
agree.
same service or different service?
It's the same.
Okay.
So we, on management fees, we agree with our client on which percentage or per person, or it can be depend on the payroll size. So in that we can do like 15% or 12%. It depends on how we agreed on with the client.
Okay.
So that's what we discussed on.
All right. Do you think you answered all the details concerning that manpower service?
No.
What was left?
I think John can help me if
John, please.
I think the details are not all exhaustive because we managed to do concerning the time we had. To me, it would be much more than that one. But with the time we managed to gather only those.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, we'll get to that. From Lydia's group, who is your representative? Is it Lydia Queen or who has disappeared? Or Axel?
Yeah, I have not disappeared.
It's Lydia.
Lydia is the representative?
Yes.
All right, Lydia?
Yes, so among the products that Q-Sourcing offers is recruitment services.
Yes.
So about the recruitment services, we looked through the process or what it takes for us to do this to our clients. So first and foremost, a client reaches out with the need. They might be different needs. They might be recruitment, restructuring, or anything to do with that. Then when the client reaches out, we discuss the positions, requirements, the budget, the time of the hire required, or even the starting time of the employee that they are hiring or they want us to hire on their behalf. So we prepare service agreements and quotes. We agree, negotiate, and sign the agreements. Then we advise or they advise this recruitment period. It's a maximum of 3 weeks time or beyond, depending on the urgency of their requirement. Then the recruitment process goes on by doing CV screenings, assessments, sharing reports to the client, and then sharing recommendations or candidates for their final interviews. Then from there, we discuss on the salary. The client discusses with the salary packages with the recommended clients. And then they sign and agree their job offer. And then from there, Q-Sourcing invoices and then follows up after 3 months for the performance of the candidate that they recommended or they recruited for that company.
Awesome.
So that's a summary of how recruitment service is offered at Q-Sourcing.
Awesome. So let me ask you, one, do you think you've covered all the details under that product?
90.
90%. What have you left out?
I'm not sure.
Queen, what do you think has been left out? Or Axel, what do you think Lydia has left out, the 10%?
Queen can help us. She's the one good in this domain.
Axel, you should have knowledge of the product that you're selling. No. Oh, I think one thing that we left out is once we've worked with a client, like a month later, we request, is it like a letter of recommendation?
Okay.
That they sign, that we use as our reference,
moving forward.
Yes.
Awesome. I think that's a very good idea. I should adopt it in our company. that a month later, you ask for a recommendation. I think that's very good. Now, let's get into the most basics whenever we talk about product knowledge. So here I listed a few questions that you need to be asking whenever we talk about product knowledge. And the first one is customer. What are the customer needs? And you'll find from the two examples you've given today, one was on recruitment and the other one was for manpower management. They're almost the same somehow, but they're not the same because one is either you are managing the staff for them and the other one is you're placing the staff for them. So whenever we go to approach a customer or a client, then we need to be very clear what is the service or product do they need us to do for them. Then the second one, Axel, you're there. Can you read for us?
Yes, the second one is brand. Identity of the product or service, luxury or necessity. Come on.
Is it a luxury or a necessity? But for manpower, it's a necessity, right?
Yes.
Yes. 3 is a piece. Piece, you can read for us the third one.
Customer experience. What does a customer know about the product?
About the product, because you'll see a lot of customers whenever they approach us, they have a pre-assumption what they think you are able to do. They come and say, no, I want you to, for example, hire this employee for me and be managing them half of the time, when it's not really possible to manage an employee half of the time. So you need to understand what one does the customer know about that very particular product or service. Then you can remove the assumptions. You tell them, no, we don't do like this. It's done this way. The next one, Sonia, you're back. Read for us the next one, which is competition.
Sorry, my call dropped.
No problem.
So, you mean the second point?
No, the competition point. The fourth one.
Oh, it is. Okay. So how does your product or service compare with the competition?
Competition. Who are some of your competitors in the space? Sonia?
There is NFT, Bridge Career, and some others that I can't recall immediately.
Okay. How is Q-sourcing different from NFT, for example?
We brand ourselves as an HR company which provides reliable services and timely feedback to either clients and candidates. So we try to always keep that in mind whenever we provide service, just to make a difference from our competitors.
All right. Then how is that different from NFT?
So I do not understand their business model very much.
Okay.
But so one of the things candidates struggle with is timely feedback. Let's say you apply on a position and you wait for a month or two to hear from the company to get back to you if you either passed or didn't make it. So that is one of the things that many different companies that I know struggle with. So it is one of the things that we always try to keep in mind to show the difference.
Awesome. I think that's a perfect example. And you see, especially in business, normally you can't ignore or assume the competitor, because you need to know, one, what the competitor does, then you come and do it better or you do it differently. You can't just assume or work without acknowledging that there's competition there. Because if you go to approach EABL, you'll find even, for example, an FT have already approached EABL, either for new business or for business expansion and such. So with competitors, you can't totally assume. And sometimes I feel like in Kenya, competition is so rough Like you even send people to pose as candidates just to see what your competitors are doing so that you can come home and say, this is what I noticed in the recruitment process, then this is what we need to improve on our own business. The next one, Queen Elodie.
Let me read on her behalf.
Okay. Where is
industry.
she?
She's at the printer.
Okay, no problem. Please read.
Yeah. Industry, trends, concepts and terminologies surrounding your product.
Your products. Very true. And these ones are very common because when was the last time, this is just a general question, when was the last time you upgraded your HR system? Or do we start from, do you have a HR system?
Yes.
Yes. When was the last time it was upgraded? Or you got a new version?
I'll ask. No. We've not yet gotten a new version.
Oh, really?
We're still
then
using
you're so
the one I
last
found
year.
and twice. Yeah.
Okay, then that's a bad example.
Yes.
Okay. With the trends.
You can pick on John.
On John,
Project.
John,
Yes.
you're not upgrading these systems and leaders complaining all the time.
Her complaints cannot be exhausted.
Oh, her complaints cannot be exhausted. Okay. Then you see, like, for example, when you manpower management, like I found that word very, I've not had it in a while, but I know when you talk about manpower management, is also the same thing as outsourcing. Is it the same? That is Peace who said that. Is Peace at her desk, or she also
outsourcing? No, she's here, but I can answer on her behalf.
Lydia, you're answering on everyone's behalf.
Thank you, Lydia. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I think that question is directed to me.
Okay.
Outsourcing and manpower
the same
management.
as manpower management?
No.
It's
outsourcing
not.
is part of manpower management.
Okay. I'm learning something new. Outsourcing is part of manpower management. But you see, that is in terms of terminologies. Like for your product, you need to give it the right term so that it doesn't get misinterpreted by the consumer or the customer or the client. Then the same as the concept, the concept of like, I liked what Lydia, you had earlier said when you are explaining the recruitment process. You use the right words, recommendation, you want to give feedback to the both to the client and to the candidate, or that. So that means you're using the right, like the concept of recruitment is the very same as anyone else doing the recruitment business would want to conceptualize it. The next one, who has not talked? John. The next one.
Is use what needs does the product or service fulfill?
You see, and I like your product because it's very similar to also what we do here at Accurex, because there's a need that we fulfill, and the need is very clear. Because if you need an employee, we give you an employee. You know, if you need an engineer, we give you an engineer. And you see the need versus the fulfillment there. They go hand in hand. That is very simple. Let's go back to Lydia, who is answering on behalf of others. Please read the next one for us.
Okay. Complementary products, services. What goes with your product service?
Tell me, what goes with recruitment services, for example?
I think introduction of the new staff.
Introduction of the new staff.
We try to convince our client that we know this person. so that they have a feel of like we are bringing the right person or the right fit for the position, and that maybe we are accountable just in case.
All right.
So we make them feel comfortable that we know the people that we are recommending for their position.
All right. Let me ask you, do you have like an onboarding program? An onboarding program, like here for us, we have an onboarding program. Once we place a candidate, we take them, it's almost like a training, a short training, more about the customer, what they do, the products they offer, such policies, regulations, procedures of that organization, the code of conduct, such. Do you do that?
If we're the ones to manage the staff, then we do that.
Okay.
Else, if it's just recruitment, we recruit. But if it's also management, we onboard. We can onboard them. We do that for several clients here.
Okay. So you see, that is a complementary service or product. Like the fact that we give you an employee, we can also onboard them on your behalf or take them through a short training for them, maybe the first 3 months, or for other companies, they say we want a mentorship program for the new employee, such. So you see, that is a complementary service.
Complementary service.
Yes, if you do one thing, then you have also to do another thing. And this is a challenge I'll give your organization. For every key product that you have or service that you have, identify also a complementary service that can go hand in hand with that service. All right?
Thank you.
Awesome. This goes to Alex, Axel. The next one, Axel. Axel, are you with us?
Lydia can help him.
Peace. No, you please help Axel.
Okay. Configuration, installation, setup. Installation setup.
This is very much IT related. Almost the next 3 ones are IT related, which also means they're not related to your business somehow. For example, if you are installing DSTV, you have DSTV in Rwanda, right?
Yes.
Yes.
We do.
If, for example, you are doing installation business for DSTV, once a client buys the dish, that thing we put on top of our roof, then you have to go to their place, install it, set it up, make sure the TV is working. Then the next point, troubleshooting. How do you fix a problem? And you'll see once when these technicians come to your home, they tell you, if you face this problem, click the remote on this button. That is troubleshooting. They help you to be able to fix these problems on your own. Then the other one, the next one, specification. What makes your product or service? If you go to the supermarket to buy a TV, you go with specification. You say, I want a 50-inch TV that is able to connect to the Wi-Fi, that is a smart TV. I can stream movies from it. Those are specifications. Then the next one, which is integration, how do you integrate, for example, how do you integrate your TV to your home theater? Both of them are two separate devices. One is more visual. The home theater is for the audio or for the sound. Then how do you integrate the TV and the home theater? That is the part of knowledge, product knowledge when it comes to IT. So those 4 ones are highly interrelated. Then we go back to Sonia to read the second last for us. Sonia?
The second last, the policy and procedure.
Yes.
Okay. So policy or procedure guides or terms and conditions or warranty or
Guarantees.
And
Guarantee,
guarantees.
yes.
All right. So for every product and service, I believe like for all the services that you offer, you have a terms and conditions page. True?
Yes.
Yes, like you tell the client, we expect maybe 50% of the payment upfront. After we deliver the service, we'll expect the remaining 50%. Or we say after 3 months, we'll come and check on the candidate. If you're happy with the candidate and the work he or she is doing, those all of those fall under guides or terms and conditions, warranties and guarantees. Then the last one, John, is John back?
John did not go anywhere.
Oh, John did not go anywhere. Okay, John, please read the last one for us.
Mission and vision. Why should I buy this?
Why should I buy this? What is the vision for, no, what is the mission for Q-Sourcing Rwanda? John? John, what's the mission for Q-Sourcing Rwanda? Then we'll go to the vision. Let's start with the mission first.
Be the top leading human resource solution provider in the next 5 years, I think.
To be the best, the leading. Come again.
Manpower management solution provider.
Awesome. And what is the vision? What is the vision?
Meet and exceed clients' expectations.
To meet and exceed clients' expectations. So you see, whenever you go to pitch for products, or whenever you're talking to clients about
you say the vision?
Yes.
It's being regional.
To be what?
Regional management.
To be the regional management
provider of choice.
The regional management provider of choice.
Solutions management solution provider.
Okay, to be the regional management solutions provider of choice, and your vision is to be to provide seamless client responsive management solutions, right?
That's the mission.
That's the mission.
Yes.
What I said was vision. Now that is mission.
Okay.
What you said is mission.
Is the mission. All right. So you see, what I was saying is, whenever we are approaching clients, we need to always be able to stick to our vision and mission. And clients, they buy into our mission and vision. Like, what does this company aim at providing or doing? So for example, if the mission is to be the provider, regional provider of choice, what does that mean? You have presence in Rwanda, you have presence in Kenya, you have presence in Uganda, you have presence in South Sudan. Where else do you have presence?
TZ.
Yes, Tanzania. So you see, that would mean that's a regional presence. Because if I have a company, for example, like EABL have footprints in Kenya, another footprint in South Sudan, Uganda, and Tanzania. It means we can outsource Q-Sourcing, and they serve all the regions that we have footprint in. You get my reasoning around the vision and mission?
Yes.
Okay. Then, for the mission, it's seamless client responsive management solutions. That's all the services that we offer, we need to offer them as seamless as possible, without people complaining, without people raising their voices that you're not doing what you said or you had committed to be doing, and so forth. We come to the end of this particular session on product knowledge. Any questions so far before we move forward? Any questions? Anything that was not clear?
Yes.
Yes, Lydia.
I want a recap on policy.
Yes.
Sorry, let's go back to the last slide. Policy, guarantee.
Here, where is it?
Yes, policy procedure.
The second one, sorry.
In last.
Yes. What was not clear there?
I lost you somewhere.
Okay. So you see, what I was saying, for every company, there's a certain procedures or policy that we follow. You know, for example, if when we talk about recruitment, you say for us to be able to place a candidate in your organization, we need how many weeks do you need?
3
weeks. So you say if today you give us the job description, the job profile, within 3 weeks we need to have placed a candidate into your organization. What will we be doing within the 3 weeks? Number one, it could be advertising the job. It could be, you could be advertising it on your website, on job boards in Rwanda, or that. Then the next part is shortlisting the candidates, calling them for interviews. Once you call them for interviews, you write a report. Maybe if you meet candidates on Monday, the report needs to be ready by Wednesday. By Wednesday, then you send a report to the client by Friday. You see, all those are procedures, and they're very specific. So by the time 3 weeks are done, there ought to be a candidate at your client's office. Then that is one example of procedure. Another one, it could be terms and conditions. Under terms, you say, before we place any candidate to any client's organization, they need to have signed the contract. The contract needs to be signed within maybe the first 1 week of contact. Then after they sign the contract, they need to make the payment of, you either agree, is it 15% or 12%? Then you say it's 12%. The 12% of how much, if there's a costing that was involved, you bill it. Then the request goes to finance to raise an invoice and all that. So you see, those are terms and conditions. And then you say, we can't place a candidate before the client pays, for example, or even if we place a candidate, they need to pay within 90 days. Is that clear, Lydia?
Yes, thank you.
I hope that is clear on guides. These are like rules that guide how we do our business.
Thank you.
All right. Are any other question on this particular topic so far? I'll assume none. Do we take a short break or we continue? We are just done with the first hour. Axel.
Yes, for me, we can continue.
We can continue.
Yes.
Awesome. Is everyone okay? We continue?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Then let's continue. Understanding your customer and their needs. Can someone tell me what they understand by this? What do you mean by understanding our customers and their needs? Who deals with customers directly? I know Sonia must be dealing with customers directly, being in business development. Who else deals with customers directly?
Lydia.
Lydia, Who else?
Queen, did you mention Queen?
And
Queen.
Queen.
You mentioned Sonia.
Yes.
So Queen, Sonia, and Lydia, they deal with customers directly.
Yes.
Does the finance?
Most of us deal with our customers here at the head office. So,
so all of us deals with customers
all
directly.
of us, yes, in one way or the other.
Okay, so I'm giving you an assignment, but this one is an individual assignment. So all of you to pick one customer that you deal with, and you list down, one is to identify the customer that you deal with, and you identify their needs. What are their needs? Is that clear? So I expect 6 customers and their needs. So make sure the customer you're picking, no one else is picking the same customer. We give it how many minutes? 5 minutes?
Do you have any hints on needs?
No, I want that to come from you. Like, what do you think their needs are? What do they want from Q sourcing, Rwanda? Okay. How many minutes, Axel?
2.
2 minutes. Okay, I'll give you 3 minutes until 10 past 4 p.m. Hello, are we done?
Yes.
We are done.
Yes.
All right. That's Axel. Axel, tell me which client did you pick?
So I picked Bourbon Coffee.
You picked
one
what?
of our clients we have a conference room. Bourbon Coffee.
Oh, Belvon Coffee.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's one of our clients that use our conference room.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and the need I have identified five.
Mm-hmm.
So the first one is working projection, as in they need to the projection when they need to project, they need everything to be working.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, they also need the AC to be working as well.
Uh-huh.
Yes, it's a need.
Uh-huh.
And they also need my support in IT related things,
Mm-hmm. IT
and
related.
they also
Uh-huh.
need internet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
IT support,
Mm-hmm.
internet, and as sometimes they do video conferencing calls, they need
Mm-hmm.
audio, a
Yes.
speaker and microphone. Yeah, they
Mm-hmm.
also need those.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so far that's it.
All right. So for this particular client, they use the
The conference
conferencing
room,
facility, yeah?
yeah, the conferencing facility, yeah.
Awesome.
Conference facility.
Let's move to John. Which client did you pick?
I picked Gregory.
You picked?
Gregory International.
Okay. Uh-huh. What do they do?
It's a construction company.
Mm-hmm.
They do construction in different things, but
What are their needs?
their need is provision and management of casual staff.
Provision and management of?
Casual staff.
Or casual staff. Uh-huh.
Yes, staff administration, staff statutory deduction and remittance, staff file management, which includes leave management and contract management, and all compliance related management. Yes.
All right. What else do they need? Or that is it?
Basically, it's about staff management and staff file management and provision and management staff.
All right. We move to Lydia. Which company did you pick or client?
I chose HQS.
HQS.
Yes.
What do they do?
We do outsourcing and payroll management. Temporary staff outsourcing and then payroll management.
No, not what you do for them. What does HQS do? Like, what is their core business?
Energy generation.
Sorry?
Energy, electricity.
Oh, energy,
power generation.
Energy generation. Okay. What are their needs?
Their needs from us is payroll management.
Payroll management.
Outsourcing of temporary staff. We do their monthly additions, statutory deductions, contributions, and then tax declarations.
Okay. So do they have any other needs?
Yes, salary payments. We do their staff payslip processing and sharing to individual staff. We do temporary staff placements. We do legal or HR policy support. We do at-home staff welfare advancing when required.
All right. Okay. We move to Queen Elodie.
Yes. I picked, it's a new client that we've just working with on recruitment. It's called Steel Pro. It's
Steel?
a steel manufacture, steel.
Okay.
It's a steel manufacturing company.
Mm-hmm.
So their need, they reached out to us. Was recruitment
Yes.
for a head of people and culture,
Uh-huh.
but they were more specifics on the main things that they are looking for.
Mm-hmm.
Someone with knowledge of local labor law,
Yes.
Rwandan local labor law, and very good with HR reporting.
Mm-hmm.
And also additionally on that, it's someone, because the industry, the manufacturing company is located outside Kigali, the Eastern Province,
Yes.
around approximately 40 minutes from Kigali.
Okay.
So basically the person would have to relocate. You have to get someone who's willing to relocate
Yes.
and live nearby. Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Yes.
So for them, they only have one service. They were looking for recruitment.
Yeah, yes, it was
Awesome.
recruitment.
Sonia, which client did you pick?
So I picked UDL. In full word, it's Ultimate Developers.
It's a what?
It's basically they're into construction.
Construction.
So they work on different projects, such as apartments or residence buildings.
Mm-hmm.
So we work with them often, but on one service, on one needs, they always request for recruitment services.
Mm-hmm.
So we recently recruited 4 roles for them.
Mm-hmm.
And each role had their requirements. So it's most of the time on the job description they share.
Mm-hmm.
So when we are going to provide the service, we always try to focus on what the client's needs in terms of qualification of the candidates, including years of experience or education. It always depends on what the client wants.
Mm-hmm.
So we always pay attention to that when we're doing recruitment. Yeah.
All right. Awesome. I like how you've handled that. Let's move to Peace.
I picked EABL.
EABL,
So,
the biggest client, I believe. Uh-huh.
Yes. So their needs, they are allowed to have monthly airtime.
Uh-huh.
And they are also allowed to have fuel.
Uh-huh.
And the need is also to pay them their salaries on time.
Mm-hmm.
Another one is also sharing the declarations and proof of payments to the authorized people.
Mm-hmm.
And also
Mm-hmm.
their need is any help they can get from me that I didn't mention. So
and any other thing they need.
Yes.
Okay. That is very dangerous, right?
No, it's not.
It is, because what will happen if they ask for you something that you're not allowed to give them or to do for them?
No. I just give them whatever I can help with, and whatever they're allowed to. It's just because I think maybe I forget some of their needs. That's why I said any help they can need from me.
You are open to giving to them.
Yeah.
Awesome. Now, I like how you've handled that question. However, I feel like we were not able to answer all questions whenever we talk about this topic of understanding our customers and their needs. So in the next presentation, you'll see what I would have expected were we to talk about this topic. So the first question is, who are they? So what, for example, who is EABL, who is HQS, who is that? Like that question, you're able to answer it correctly. Then the next bit you ask is what they do. What do they do? others you say they're in construction, others you say they're, let me see, had made notes when you were talking. One is in construction, the other one is energy generation, the other one is steel manufacturing and all that. Then why they buy, why do they want this particular service? For example, for EABL, I'm thinking they would want to outsource payroll services just to ease the pressure from their HR manager, you know, or the fact that another one was dealing with cashiers, HQS. Cashiers are so many over a month. You might find yourself, maybe you only need 5 at a time, but in a month you've gone through about 50 cashiers for that particular client. So why, or what is the motivation behind them wanting your service? Then the next one is when they buy. What is the frequency? Is it monthly? Is it quarterly? Is it annually? Or it's, for example, for the example Queen gave for head of recruitment, that is one time. Are you able to project when they will need another placement, Queen?
Not at the moment, because it's the first time we are working with them.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, the first thing is to lay down the relationship. Make sure
Yes.
that this first assignment you're doing it very well
Mm-hmm.
and successfully, and then we will follow up
Mm.
and then see if we can get more business from them.
Awesome. So you see, when for the steel company, it's not very specific. Then how they buy? How do they buy? Whenever we say buy, is when do they come, or how do they come to you for their services? Is it on a need to basis, or it's something that you've already signed in a contract? Like for casuals, I know the client normally tells you, at any given time, I want 10 casuals. So you see that the frequency is determined. Unlike when you say on a need basis, the client can call you in the morning and tell you, kindly send me a casual. Then the next one, Lydia, you can read for us. Lydia? Or please? Axel?
Okay, I guess I should read.
Yes.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yes, please. John?
Purity, how are you? It's Oscar.
Oh, it's Oscar. Hi, Oscar.
I'm all right. I joined anonymously so that at least I can learn a couple of things.
As we continue, I hope you're learning something.
I am.
Great
Sorry
to
that I
have you
joined
here.
late.
No worries.
Thanks.
I was wondering who was that using Q sourcing Rwanda.
Yeah.
But
Now,
happy to have you here. Yes, please.
thank you. I was gonna read next, but I'm actually wondering whether me and my team are on the same page, because I didn't get when you said the needs.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't getting any of the answers that I had expected. I don't know whether it's me who is not understanding the topic, but I think,
Mm-hmm.
and we've gone through this sometimes, because if we say that what are the needs of the customers and we just mention what we do for them
For
during the
them.
month, then not the need. My understanding, guys, and Purity, you can help us to make this
Yes.
wide,
Mm-hmm.
is that when we are engaging a client, from the time that a client just sends a request or hears about us or anything,
Mm-hmm.
that we get to know who are these people. And I'm actually not reading on the PowerPoint, but
Mm-hmm.
and even today, there's a client today who sent an email, and I remember the first thing I checked is to look for their website.
Yeah.
And ask Queen, do you know them? Have you heard about them before? So once we know who they are, I believe, well, I'm not following the order, but I think it's also important to know, why are these guys coming to us? the service that they want us to do, can't they do it for themselves? Now, if they are coming to us, meaning it's either a headache to them, it's a pain, or they think we are an expert at this. So they basically they think we can add value to them by providing a certain service.
Yes.
So either you're solving a problem, or there's a gap in their business that you're closing, or it's something that they don't know and you are an expert to do something. So because the needs that I thought, whether it's EABL or it's HQS or it's what, some of the biggest needs that they have is that they need that comfort, that they won't struggle with their staff, they won't struggle thinking someone was paid or not paid, they won't have an issue with tax regulators, they don't want to know whether there was an update in the labor issue or not. It's you to know about it. Regarding recruitment, they can do recruitment for themselves, but the reason they are coming to us is that either they need quality people in this field. So I would want my colleagues to think at it on a broader basis of the backbone of where these clients are coming from, what is causing them to come to us. Because once you know that need, then it helps you to do your daily whatever that you're giving them. You're looking at it from the value perspective. Otherwise, it can be comfort of what you're giving them, and they can also do it themselves. I don't know whether it makes sense to so that you can broaden it when you're breaking it down. It's in that direction.
Totally. I totally agree with you, Oscar. And I was almost getting to that point, that what the team has actually presented is very, very top layer. It doesn't go beyond the surface. Because if it's a recruitment service, as you're saying, why are they coming to Q sourcing to recruit? Yet anyone can do outsourcing. You know, it could be they're saving on the time of finding the candidates, or they don't have a large enough pool of candidates and all that. So, and these questions as that we have listed on this particular presentation helps us not only to understand the customer, but also what to do for our customers and why are they coming to us. I hope that is clear so far.
I think to me that makes a lot of sense.
Yes.
So you had asked us to read. Where do I read so that you proceed? Sorry to
No problem, Oscar. We are at how much money they have.
Okay, how much money they have.
Do you know what our customers can afford at any time? Why would we charge?
Queen would answer that, because today she wanted to quote a client, and I was like, so you're quoting them according to what? You need to know who these people are or what they are asking. Whether you will manage to do it in a week or 2 weeks, then it should help you to quote. So I guess Queen can address that to cross even that
Queen,
client.
The ball is on your court.
Yes. Pretty, to answer this, how much money they have.
Yes.
Usually you may say a company, it's international, it's what, and you think they can afford you. You raise the bar high. And when you find that they're getting quotation from different clients, from different suppliers, because you've put your I would say that the fees high, sometimes you find that they go with the ones who quoted lower.
Yeah.
So I don't think that knowing how much money they have can impact a lot on how you quote, unless they are open to negotiation.
But for example, why would you charge one client 15% and the other one 12%?
Well, like I said, for the manpower, whenever we start off, whenever a client is new, he comes in, a client comes in, we all start with a basic percentage. let's say 15 or 21%. And then when they come back to us, they're like, the percentage is high. And then we request them to give us what is their budget, basically the payroll cost. What's the payroll cost do they have? So they usually share like a range, and then we get a feel. When you get to know how much what's their payroll cost, then you reduce accordingly. But at first, usually we just go with let's say the industry they're in, how big they are, and then from there, if they're interested to work with us to move forward, we negotiate.
Correct. So you see, but at the end I feel like at one point you almost estimate how much this client is willing to pay, either based on the conversations you keep having, or from time to time you find clients drop hints like, we want someone between 100,000 and 200,000. So you're like, this is maybe what their operating budget is. The next one, please. Where are you? Is Pete there?
Yes, I'm here. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm here.
Read the next one for us.
What makes them feel good about buying?
What makes them feel good about buying? Pete, did you give us? Yes, your client was EABL. Why would they be? Yes. What will make them feel good about Q sourcing or getting services from you guys?
I think we are the people who are so reliable, and and that I don't think that's what we are. So, and we give, yes, and we give what their needs on time, what they need on time.
Okay.
Yes.
Because like all of us want our needs or wants fulfilled, in a timely manner. When we were talking about your company vision and mission, there was the seamless. Seamless means without hiccups, without delays, without all this. So if you're able to, for example, process the payroll on time, that eases the headache for them. It gives them a good feeling that our employees are getting paid on time, they're getting paid the correct figures, there are no errors in their payroll calculation and all that. Let's move to Lydia. Lydia. Okay, Lydia is
Yes,
like,
Purity.
Yes, please.
Are we on the
we are in bullet 3, the second column.
What they expect of you.
Yes.
What they expect of us.
Yes, what they expect of Q sourcing. Your company was HQS. What do they expect of you, or from QSS?
They expect us to do what is required of us on time.
I can't hear you clearly.
They expect us to do what is required of us according to the service agreement. Purity?
Yes.
Yes.
So
I said, yes, according to the service agreement, there is our obligations, what we are supposed to do for them. So they expect these services to be done on time because there are more or less monthly activities that we do.
Okay, those are for the retainer clients, right?
Yes.
And what do you think they think about you? That's the next point. When you do all this, but then what do you think they think about what you do or what you have done?
It varies.
When does it vary?
What they think about us depends on what we have done, on what have we done in that particular month. For example, and my colleagues know, like there's a time we really do these salaries executions on time. And the other time, maybe there are some banking system problems and the salary delays.
So when the
what
salary
they think
delays,
of
what
us,
do you
I think
think
depends on what we've done on a different month.
So still on the example, if there are salary delays, what do you think these clients think about you or the organization?
They feel a little let down. They feel let down.
Or
disappointed.
Or inconvenienced.
Or inconvenienced. But depends on how we handle the situation.
Then how do you handle the situation?
We have to keep giving feedback and follow-ups and excusing ourselves just in case we realize something might not work out as they expect.
All right. Let's talk to Axel. Axel, you can read the last point.
What do you think about your competitors?
Your company was Belvon Coffee, right?
Bourbon Coffee.
Yes. So
Yes.
what does that organization think about your competitors? You said competitors are like HFC, right?
Sorry. Oh, sorry?
I'm saying we had earlier mentioned one of your competitors to be
NFT.
Yes, NFT. So what do you think your clients or your customers think about your competitors?
Okay, personal, as in related to what I said, because Bobon, for me, I was saying regarding the conference room, and for NFT, I don't think they have a conference room that they run.
Okay, so that is your competitive advantage.
Yeah, that is a competitive advantage. And
All
another
right.
thing is the Bourbon Coffee is yes.
You have
yes
in this city there are some other people who offer conference room services.
No, that was okay compared to other competitors in matters of conference room. I guess some might have, I mean, the setup, because for us we cannot yet, you cannot yet come with your with your phone, and I mean, without even a phone, you could just come in, you have a meeting, there is no way, I mean, there is no way that is elaborate that you can use to join a meeting without necessarily borrowing a laptop or a phone. So you have to bring either your own laptop or your own phone for you to join a meeting. Even on the phone, it's not yet as good as I expected. Only if it's an audio call, but it's a video call, then you'll eventually need a laptop. So compared to other conference room, that I might say that some of the competitors might be ahead of us on that point.
Okay, so that is a disadvantage for your organization.
Yes.
But what again is your competitive advantage? What are you very good at in terms of conferencing?
In terms of conferencing, as I was, even though I mentioned Bourbon as a client, Bourbon is a restaurant. Bourbon Coffee is a restaurant. So for us, if we have clients in the boardroom, they can order food and without having to move. It's just right next door.
All right.
Okay. Yeah.
I think that's a huge advantage, right?
Yes, it's a
People
very
can
huge
come for a
advantage.
day conference, have their meals, have their teas, have their coffee,
Yes.
and all
Yeah.
that. Okay.
Yeah.
So whenever we talk about knowing your customer and their needs, these are how many questions? 5. There are 10 questions that you need to answer with as much detail as possible. And if you look at what we had earlier shared, you'll notice you had barely answered even 2 or 3 questions out of the 10 questions. True or false? Lydia? or anyone, Peace, Queen Elodie.
True.
You see, of the 10 questions, you had barely answered even 50% of the questions when it of the questions that you need to be asking whenever you are confronting or meeting with a customer. Because I also tend to think you also need to anticipate their needs. So like Oscar was saying, the first thing you receive a new client request, you want to go to their website, see what they are doing, why are they contacting you, what are some of the services you'll want to reach out to them about, because you might just go there for recruitment services, only they need other services like training, like outsourcing, like payroll management. So whenever we answer this question of customers and their needs, the other biggest part of that question, how do you anticipate their needs? Even the ones they've not spoken to you about, you need to go to that meeting ready for possible solutions you are able to offer that organization. So are any questions so far on the topic of customer and their needs?
Yes, Purity.
Yes, please.
I wanted you to remind us, like, how can you help your customer in case they reach out and you very well know that the services they need can cost them higher than they can afford. How can you handle that?
Okay.
You really want to support a customer, but maybe
their budget
is far below, below what you can offer. Yes.
You remember,
and yet you want to ensure that you give quality service
and continue retaining them as a client.
Yes.
I think that's a very tricky balance. But you remember when we talked about complementary services in our earlier slides?
Yes.
And I gave you an assignment to list all the services that you offer on one column. Then on the other column, you list complementaries. You know, like what can complement this other service or substitute, up to what extent? Because I feel like getting a customer in any business is very expensive, and it takes such a long time before you get one customer, only to sit with them on the boardroom and they can't afford you. But on one point, you don't want to lose them. You want to give them quality services, but the cost that they're paying is not enough. Then for me, I'll look for substitute services, or which I see very popular here in Kenya. We have grades or ranks. Like there's grade A customer, they pay a premium, like a gold customer. Then there's a silver customer, then there's a bronze customer. So if you are a gold customer, you have more services, or yes, more services extended to you, unlike for a bronze customer. So that is maybe something you would want to consider, or look at how far they can do the job, and also how far you can also do the job, so that you can meet in the middle. For example, if it's manpower management, do you need to do it end to end, or part of it they're able to do, then you do another part that they're having difficulties doing. So just look for complementaries or substitute services that you can offer in place of those highly priced services that you offer. Does that answer your question, Lydia?
Yes, thank you.
Awesome. So are any questions so far on this topic? We're almost coming to the end. Let me see what time it is. We're almost coming to the end, actually. So any questions so far?
No question.
No question. All right. Oscar, do you have any input you want to give us before we jump to the last part?
No, I'm good. We can proceed.
Awesome. Thank you. So this last part is very interesting, dealing with difficult customers. Do we come across difficult customers in our line of business?
Yes, part of our life.
Part of our lives. And who are these difficult customers? Can we categorize them on why we think they're difficult, or we just assume they're difficult? Or why would a customer become difficult? Axel?
Sonia can answer on his behalf.
Sonia, where are you?
Hi, Purity.
Hi.
Do you mind repeating the question?
Yes, the question is, I asked, do we come across difficult customers? And Lydia said yes. So my question is, why do we think these customers are difficult? Or what makes them difficult? Yes.
Well, when you're providing services or when you're dealing with clients, sometimes they request things that you can't offer. For example, they are requesting something that is out of what you provide in terms of service, and they are probably not willing to pay for that. And they, let's say, if their budget is 100,000 Rwandan francs, but they want services that will cost probably 500,000. So sometimes you try to negotiate so that they can raise their budgets, and it fails, and they might end up unhappy or make things harder. So that is one of a difficult customer or client.
Okay.
Would give yes.
All right. Awesome. Queen, what is your version of a difficult customer?
I think for me, I would say in terms of you would have like a client who kind of pressures you to submit or share something without considering the what I'd say the time frame or even how or the time that it will take you to mobilize that the document or to send the document, you know.
All right.
The customer calls you and like, I need this, it's important right away, I have a meeting. And deep down, you know, it's not true. Yeah. And it can't be ready. And you find that you are in that on and off or backward or two-way conflict or trying not to, and you're not aligned. Okay.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's frustrating when you have other things that you're dealing with and the client comes in and is like, I need this in an hour.
Okay.
And yet, you know, when you request something, at least you should have that flexibility of knowing that you can't get it at the time that you want. And yeah, so basically, yeah, so something like that. It usually happens, and yeah, and for me, it frustrates me anyway.
I think so. It can be very frustrating if they're calling you at every time, demanding for things that you know they're not ready. So let's look at different types of difficult customers. So all of us will have one per person. Then you give us the scenario, how you think that particular client could be difficult in that aspect. We start with Axel, the first one, and then you give us a scenario.
Lydia can Axel is setting up the printer.
Okay.
So
Lydia?
yeah.
I start with the impatient customer. You want me
Yes.
to give examples?
Yes. Or a scenario of an impatient customer.
Oh, yeah.
Guys, I hope we are not going to name our clients.
No.
Please, let's not name our clients.
This would be very bad if we did. So,
Just a scenario.
I'll take it to the project staff, where Q sourcing as their manpower management firm who faced challenges. Like our staff have been maybe let go anyhowly, even before waiting to get explanations of all reports to incidences that have happened. So you find that maybe the site manager there or the facility managers in a certain project doesn't want an explanation or doesn't wait to take things in procedure of how it should be for manpower management or human resources. They don't want any procedure before the staff is fired. You find that staff go ahead and take us to, they go legal and they report us maybe to the labor inspectors because they have been fired without legitimate reasons, or even they are innocent of the incidences they are reported about. So you find that this customer is impatient and is leading us into trouble. So such things have happened on project staff.
All right.
John can add on, yes.
Okay, that's a perfect example of an impatient customer. They don't want to follow procedure before they make a certain decision or take an action. John, give us an example of an indecisive customer. A scenario.
For indecisive customer, I think most of them, it falls under impatient customers, but also to some extent, I can't say that I know the one who is indecisive, but I would say make the one who just jumps and make wrong decision without having the information and the decision that is being made. So I think I don't have one on the indecisive.
Okay, let me give you a scenario of an indecisive customer. They come today, they tell you, I want a head of sales as a role they want placed in the organization. Then the following day, they call you and tell you, no, I don't want a head of sales, I want a sales executive. And you see, those are two different roles, as much as both of them are in sales, but one is a very senior role and the other one is a very junior role. Then after a few days, they call you back, they tell you, stop with that process, let's get a sales officer. So it'd be like, what are we working on? Are we working on the head of sales? Are we working on the officer role? Or are we working on the executive role? That's a case scenario of an indecisive customer. The ones that they can't really make a decision and stick with it. Our Peace. Is Peace next to you, John?
She just stepped out.
Okay, we move to, is Axel back?
Axel.
Yes, Axel is back.
Axel, give us a scenario of an angry customer.
Scenario of an angry customer. Angry because the service was not good. Angry. Yeah? Okay.
Angry either because the service was not good or you did not deliver on time.
Okay. I don't know if I can say it was angry. The client was angry. There was one client who came in the conference room, and because based on the type of computer that he had, we had adapters that could help him in the projection, but he only had one port on his laptop. And then I was trying to explain to him that the adapter we have might help him in the projection, but he cannot charge. The issue was that now he cannot charge, and he was like, everything is possible. You have to find a way. I'm like, but for now, this is what we have now. This is what we can use. And he was like, no, yeah, try and find a way. Then I was like, okay, fine. I tried to do my best, and even though he was not happy, I guess he was not happy because there was no immediate way to help him. And then he just disconnected everything, and he used his computer. He did not project.
Okay. And you think he was not happy about that whole scenario?
Yeah, I think yes.
So do you think he was angry?
I guess he was angry, but but again, I don't know. I'm happy. Yeah.
Purity, can I add on something to
Yes.
Axel's submission? I think one could tell an angry customer when they give you like a feedback, clearly showing you that they are dissatisfied or they are not satisfied at all with your services.
What about the customer who will not tell you they are angry? Can you not tell they were angry or they are angry?
Yes, then this comes back to us to always do customer feedback surveys or finding out the quality of our services, like Queen mentioned earlier, like you go ahead and follow up.
Okay, but I still think on the spot you will, sorry, Lydia, just finish.
Yes, so yeah, I was going to relate it to like what usually happens when we don't like do what we are required of by our clients, and they have to write to us complaining. So when you receive a complaint, the complaint always comes about when somebody's angry or not satisfied with what you offered.
Yeah, true. All right, but as I was saying, we also need to develop our like emotional intelligence, just to know if someone is now angry, even if they don't tell us. Like our body expression will actually know this person is not happy or is angry at what we are offering, right?
True.
True. Okay. Queen, I think the example that you gave us was of a demanding customer. Do you agree?
Yes.
Yes, the one calls you with a deadline. I need that report within the next 1 hour or the next 30 minutes, right?
Yeah.
Okay. We move to Sonia. Give me a scenario of a vague customer.
And I've never faced a vague customer. I don't have an example.
You don't think of any scenario of a vague customer?
I can't find one. I haven't met a vague customer yet.
Have you met a customer who doesn't know what they want?
Not really. It hasn't happened.
Oh, really? You only meet customers who know what they want?
They have an idea, then from there we can start, but not really being vague and not having an idea of what they want.
All right. Who has come across a vague customer? They're a customer, but they really don't know what they want.
Sonia, assume I'm the client. I usually tell you things that are not clear.
But you're not.
All right. A vague customer is that customer that they want your services, but they really don't know what they really want. They come, they tell you, I have this problem, but as you continue listening to them, you really find out they are also not sure what the problem could be that they want fulfilled by your organization. This goes to Oscar. The next one, give us a scenario of a customer that demands a refund.
Okay, the customer that demands a refund. I think on the previous one, Sonia and Queen, on the vague customer, I don't know where you would put your recent, let me just categorize by nationality, your recent Nigerian client. Where would they fall?
That one was demanding, but also angry. Yes, so it was demanding and angry.
All right.
Okay. The customer that demands a refund. Have we met a few? I've actually, the ones that I can remember quickly is that I've proposed the refunds myself on clients that I felt like we didn't deliver 100%. I've proposed it at first and some have taken it, others have refused. Do I have exactly one that demanded it directly? Customer that demands a refund, you send me back home. No, there's no one who can.
Okay. Why would you think a customer would demand a refund?
Sorry?
Why would you think, or why would a customer demand a refund?
Well, yeah, there must be, it can be about that you didn't deliver on what you agreed on the terms of the service. It could be that you didn't do to their expectations, meaning either the expectations were not defined well, or maybe you didn't deliver to the maximum. It could also be, a problematic client who is very, I don't know, Queen, among our Asian clients, we've never had anyone who demanded a refund because usually they are so,
not that I can recall.
Yes, usually sometimes so it can be about that, not meeting the expectations, or they had you didn't deliver indeed to the agreement, or a lot of things happened there was some unprofessionalism or unconfidentiality, anything like that. But I think usually it rarely reaches on demanding a refund. Some issues usually would happen before you reach that point, and either the agreement is terminated, or you know that this won't proceed or stuff before it reaches a refund. I think those are the scenarios that we've faced. I can't remember a highlight one of a refund, but the last ones, whoever will take it on, I've seen some emails that clearly in the subject say unsatisfied customer, unhappy client, and they're like, this is gonna be a long day.
Yeah, totally. And you find like the customer that demands a refund is made up of different categories of the difficulty. They were either demanding, they were either impatient, or they were vague from the word go. They are indecisive, they are unhappy. Like by the time you request for a refund, you've gone through different stages of being difficult until the point of requesting for a refund. Then the unhappy customer is almost the opposite. It's almost very similar to the angry customer. So let us quickly, maybe in another 10 minutes, just go through strategies to dealing with difficult customers. There are 10 of them. And these ones have worked for me personally. So I believe, or I hope they will also work for you. First and foremost is to listen. Once they come, when they're angry, they're shouting, they're doing all that, is to listen. That's the best you can do at your own stage. Just listen what they're going through, let them pour out their emotions, their dissatisfaction. But as you're listening, you remember we did a class on active listening. You take notes, you nod, you tell them, I understand what you're going through, I hear what you're saying, and all that. Then the next one is build a rapport through empathy. Show them that you actually understand what they're going through, the inconvenience you not being able to deliver is costing to them and their organization. So just try to build a relationship with that client, because we don't want to lose a client. We say it is easier to lose a client than gain a new client. So if you already have one bad at hand, I believe you want to really keep it than go chasing for clients that you don't have. So the next one is lower your voice. You've given the example of the Nigerian client. I believe they are loud and you can't match their loudness.
Very loud.
And you see, you can't go being loud as well and you want to solve their problem. So you might want to lower your voice just a bit. Then they'll realize, actually, I'm shouting on my own. Then they'll want to come to your level. But if now it turns out to be a shouting match, I don't think there's any problem that you're going to solve in that process. Then the next one is respond as if all the customers are watching. Just assume you are in the conference room and all your clients that you have, be they 100, 1,000, 50 or 2 of them, respond as if all these other customers are listening and watching you. Because I believe if you introduce another party in that confrontation, how you respond will be very, very different. Then the next one is know when to give in. Oscar has given a very good example of even initiating the refund process. That will mean maybe you write to the client and tell them, I've noted your dissatisfaction with concern, and as an organization, we have decided to refund you the payments that you made to us for this particular service. What is that? That is giving in. Because I believe by the time you get to the refund stage, you have explored all other options. True or false, Oscar?
True.
True. Because refund is not the first option you want to put on the table, right? Lydia?
Yes, Purity.
All right. Then the next one is stay calm. Stay calm.
Yes.
Don't lose your temper. Just stay calm. Talk naturally. As much as you also be angry in the process, but stay calm. The next one is do not take it personally. This is a job, right? And a job ends at, for example, if it's 5 p.m., it just ends at 5 p.m. So you don't need to carry the anger, the hate, the dissatisfaction that you picked from work whenever you go home. Also remember, you're dealing with a human being. They're made of emotions. When they get disappointed, people feel angry sometimes, they feel impatient as well. So just keep remembering that you're dealing with human beings. Then the last one is if you promise to call back a customer, call back. If you said we'll call you tomorrow with feedback, or you said we'll call you within 2 hours, just make sure to call them. Even if you don't have a solution, you call them and say, hi Lydia, we had talked earlier, we promised to call you back in 2 hours. I just wanted to give you an update on the issue that you raised up. We're still looking at it. Only give us 2 more hours as we try to resolve the issue. Any questions so far?
Not from me.
None from you, Lydia. I know you're ready to go home.
No, I'm a bit patient here.
Eh?
Very concentrated.
All right. Axel, any questions?
No, none for me. Everything
None
is clear.
for you. Are these strategies applicable or are they doable?
I have one question.
Yes.
One is a bit hard for me, and I'm sure even for others.
Which one is hard for you, Lydia?
Like when you're dealing with a demanding customer, or a vague customer, one of those. Not to take it personal. I mean, we are human beings. I can still feel it, that you're putting me on pressure and I'm trying to give you my best.
You want to take the difficult customers personally? Yes. Okay. Okay. That's a good concept you've introduced. So what part of these strategies do you think we can struggle with or we struggle with? Queen? or peace?
My second one is listening.
Listening,
First
yeah?
and foremost, listening. Yeah, it's always important and polite to listen. But I find that most of us struggle to listen because.
Why do you find listening difficult?
Or maybe when you're very certain of what you're doing, or even you're very sure that you did what was required of you, but now this customer wants you to do those complementaries and is demanding.
All right. Sonia, what do you struggle with of the 10 strategies? Are they 10 or they're 8? They're 10.
Purity, for me, I think it's the second one.
Building rapport.
Through empathy.
With empathy. Why?
With the empathy. Huh?
Why?
I don't know. I think my brain, when I'm listening, well, I take time to listen. I would listen. And when I'm, let's say if it's a complaint or something, from complaint and then bringing in empathy so that you can understand each other. That change, or it's very slow for me.
All right.
Yeah, I'm still working on that. Yeah.
So you need to work on your empathy part, relatability. How do you also relate to that problem that they are going through?
Yes.
All right. Sonia, is Sonia there?
Yes, I'm here. So
what do you
for
struggle
me,
with?
I mostly struggle with the last one. Like when I say to call back,
you forget.
Sometimes I forget, but I've already started working on it. I try to set reminders so that I can remember that I have to call back someone or a client.
Okay, I think I'll also use reminders. I also keep forgetting so often. So whenever I say something, I just put it on my diary or on my phone reminder alarm, like call so and so. We move to Axel.
I was the one who started.
Oh, it's you who started. Then we move to John. I think they have dropped off together with Peace. Oscar, you want to close for us?
I think first of all, this is very helpful. I hope we can really grasp this. I have a feeling that there is a lot of emotional intelligence around all this.
Yes.
And I hope, as I had asked Lydia, that when we are finalizing these sessions, we can kind of brainstorm around the go through the emotional intelligence again, but not the whole of it, but in a pattern way. Because to me, I think from the first time that you start with a client, there's a way you're understanding them, you're discovering who they are. And the whole difficulty about clients that we saw in the previous page, it doesn't happen out of the blue. You've already seen a lot of things through, and that emotional intelligence should help you to manage that. There's a client that you know will not like speaking to you when they are angry, but they are okay speaking with your colleague. So instead of making that call, ask your colleague to make that call. There's a time you know that when you send an email when you're angry, it won't be done well. So sleep over it and send it the next day, or ask your colleague to look at your email. Staying calm, know when to give in. All this, I think there's a lot of emotional intelligence about it, but I like the lot. Personally, I think sometimes the first and foremost, listen. Sometimes I already have read the client, and by the time I'm listening, I'm already thinking of what I want to respond to them, and it's not right.
Yeah.
So it's important that you bring down your whatever and first listen. This second last, I can't read the last part. Remember, you are interacting with?
Yes.
The last part.
The last one is if you promise to call back, call back.
No, the second last.
Remember, you're interacting with a human being.
Okay, yeah, which I think can be kind of combined with building rapport through empathy that Queen need to work on. Yeah, but like we mentioned, at the end of the day, we come to do this job. At the end, you have a life, so it's important that you don't take these things personal, and you know how to deal with these customers. Sometimes even on their side, because if you are lecturing clients, I'm sure these are the same things that you lecture them. So in one way or another, we are all looking at delivering something, but it's just that sometimes pressure kicks in. So I think we can really have some good takeaway from all this, and we can manage our clients, both the good ones and the angry ones and whoever, in quite an interesting way, because you learn those. Even now, to be able to manage all kinds of clients is that you have to go through this. So it's quite interesting, and I'm glad. I don't have anything else to say, and I think this is good.
All right. Thank you so much, Oscar, for your input. I believe we come to the end of this very session. I don't know if we have any questions on the floor before we call it a day. Any question, any comments? Have we learned something? What are we going to implement? Yes, Lydia. Or Queen.
I've
yes,
learned
Queen.
a lot.
I've
learned a lot. Just to say thank you. Thank you, Purity. Seemed short.
Yeah, I know.
Short, but yes, very important and useful. Because most of the key highlights were talking to us. They were just talking to us directly. We did most of these scenarios along the way as we went up into the processing. So thanks so much.
Welcome.
And we look forward to more.
To tomorrow as we wind up. Thank you so much. Queen, you had anything to say?
Yes, it was just to appreciate this session. It was very insightful. Speaking for myself, and I believe for the team, and mostly for the last part.
Yes.
And yeah, and thank you very much.
You're welcome, Queen. Anyone else with any closing comments as we close?
Hey,
yes,
I wanted to
Oscar.
suggest, I don't know, Lydia, would it be this week, if we can, the next tomorrow's training, if you could have it when you're not on your personal laptops, if the conference room is available. I know today it wasn't, but if tomorrow it's available, or still you can maybe sit 3 and 3, because it increases when you brainstorm and remember some personal experiences. I think it adds more value. You don't forget things, because at the back of my mind, I know if you're looking at your laptop and the email pops up, you look at your email.
Yeah,
and
true.
you need 1 or 2 points. So if tomorrow we can maximize by making it more of a group, or at least 3 people on a laptop, then our office is now in like 3 corners or something, so you can find a way to make it more interactive. Thanks, Purity. I guess I'll see you.
Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you all. Enjoy your evening. Let's talk tomorrow. We're having a very important and critical topic to close us off, where we'll be discussing about total quality management, strategic management, and operational excellence. Our previous trainer, Nancy, will be able to take us through that particular session. So come ready to learn, come ready to explore the issues around strategy. and we'll have a close on it. I know Oscar has mentioned about emotional intelligence. So if you still need a recap of the same, that's something that you are able to facilitate whenever you're ready. So other than that, enjoy your evening. God bless you all, and good evening. Bye.
Thank you, Purity. Bye.
Thank you,
See you
Purity.
tomorrow.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.